Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I mean, Demium is red, but I actually received the green light to start. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome at Demium. I should say welcome at Venture Cafe, but I'll come back to that. But we are super excited to have you today with us. Today, we are having the Demium Roadshow. This is the first edition happening here in Poland. What is the Demium Roadshow? The Demium Roadshow, it is an event that takes place to showcase our portfolio companies. You know, we like Marvel, so we like also the Avengers. So we have bring top people around the table to showcase together their superpowers to you. So it will be a fantastic opportunity for you to learn about what Demium does and what we basically strive for. We are looking for talented people that will build the startup alongside us and that will secure investment, because we are a pre-seed and seed VC from actually Spain, but I don't want to spoil too much about this to you. We are very much engaged in the region, in Poland, notably in Warsaw, so feel free to meet us in Brain Embassy next to Metro Nowy Świat Uniwersytet to visit our hub, our office. We are very excited to have you with us and with our partners, Venture Cafe and Scaleway, that I will introduce later on. And let's have fun today. Today, you will meet, as I said, some of our top seed and Series A startups. So these projects have already secured pre-seed investment from Demium, and we do our best to help them to grow. And I hope it will be the opportunity for you to get to know their solutions better and get convinced that these projects can make a real impact. So you will meet Hear Me, City Robotics, Recoshelf, Beholder, Drug Card, and last but not least, Clever Claim. They will be judged, I will say a few words about them later on, by also superheroes. I will introduce them in a second, but we are very lucky to have an amazing high-level panel that will ask them questions in order to dig in their solutions. So join us, because it's going to be an amazing journey. And the agenda today, right now I am making my stand-up show for you in order to feel, I hope that you feel very welcome with us. And in a second, I'll pass the microphone to Karolina Wilk-Trejanowska, who's our Demium CE regional manager, that will present you a bit more about what we do and what we strive for in the region. And later on, I'll give a few words for our sponsors that we are really thankful for, and we'll start the pitching session. So without no further ado, we take a deep breath and we give and we wait and we round of applause for Karolina. Yes.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Adam. He's the best MC of every event we are having here. I'm sure you high five with Adam more than even with me, because he's the best community person for us here. And first of all, I would like to thank you all for joining. I see many of the well-known faces for Demium Poland, but not only Demium Poland, also Demium Ukraine. We're also having representatives of Demium Prague in here, so I'm very glad that we can gather all together here in Venture Cafe. Couple of words, because some of you are very much familiar with Demium, but I wanted to highlight that Demium is very active here in the region. So apart from very active and renowned hubs that we have in Spain and Portugal, we are right now really activating all of the resources here in the region to support the entrepreneurs of the Central and Eastern Europe. So we here have today many great examples of this. We will hear the pitches of our portfolio startups, but also in the room with us, our amazing community of people that are right now in the program. And I would like to also thank you to you all for joining, and for the investors and the business angels that we also have in the room. I hope you will build very fruitful relations after this event. A little bit more about us. Yes, as Adam said, we are very active as the incubator, but most and foremost as the venture capital firm. So we are providing financing to the regional startups more and more, and we want to really highlight the fact of us being here, us being active in the three hubs in the region, which is Warsaw, Kiev, and Prague. And also we have the approved fund for the C region, which is also another kind of confirmation that we want to really reinforce our actions here in the region. And I feel like what we are waiting for today the most is the presentations of the startups that will pitch. So I'm just trying to get there with my slides, but it's not getting there. Yeah, we got it. So what is amazing about Demium and what we are very proud of is that actually at the end of the day, we are doing the cross collaboration of all of the hubs that we have across Europe. And here among many renowned Spanish startups, we are proud to also showcase some of the startups that will pitch today. So in total, we are making a very, very huge community of startups, of entrepreneurs, of talented people. And we are very much welcoming you. If you don't know us yet, please get in touch with us regionally here. We are very much offline in Warsaw, in the city center, but we are very happy to welcome you all at today's event, and I hope you enjoy. And I will try to be brief because I'm looking forward to see and to hear all of the speeches. So right now, I will give back to our amazing Adam. Thank you very much for you joining today.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Caro. Thank you very much. And time for me to thank our partners, because without them the event would not take place, that's for sure. So first and foremost, I would like to thank Venture Cafe, who is hosting us. So we are under the roof, and Venture Cafe is, as you may know, some of you, is an organization here in the ecosystem that helps to build this common community of innovators. So also very important is their program, which is the Thursday gathering, in which we are taking place and active today. So this is a regular meetup on Thursday evenings, and I hope you will enjoy those in the future. But we really need those moments in order to basically reinforce each other and create value here, because this Warsaw place and area has a lot of potential. But that's not it. We have also another partner, and I would like to invite them. They are in purple today, red from Demium and purple from Scaleway. I think it's I don't know what it makes, what it brings of colors, but I can't wait. So please, if you can join me, Pascal. We are welcoming Pascal Condamin from Paris. It's a VP for startups at Scaleway. Pascal, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to have you with us today.
Thanks, Adam. Dzień dobry. That's probably the extent of my Polish, so I hope you'll excuse me with that. I'm really happy to be here tonight. I'm Pascal, VP of Startups at Scaleway. Scaleway, we are a European sovereign cloud provider. We have... Can I make it work? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we are a French cloud provider. We have 7 data centers spread all around Europe. We have 4 in Paris, 2 in Amsterdam, 1 in Warsaw, opening the second one in Warsaw in the coming weeks. We help and support all sizes company, and myself joined Scaleway about 2.5 years ago to kickstart the startup program, and we support startups from pre-seed to post-series A with their cloud infrastructure. Am I missing important information? I think we are good. And we are also part of Iliad's group, which is the 6th largest telecom company in Europe. They are the mother company of Play that was bought by Iliad 2 years back. What's important to say, we have a very easy solutions to deploy infrastructure. It's open source based, and we offer all type of services, cloud computing, cloud storage, serverless function, bare metal, so it's full cloud ecosystem. And am I missing the last one? Like I was saying, we have a startup program where we support startups with cloud credits, but as well with technical support and advice. and giving giving them as much support as we can through our visibility and network as well. So thank you for having us, Adam. Extremely happy to be here tonight and excited to listen to you guys' speech. I'm sure you'll be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Pascal. Thank you. You operate in the cloud services, so I think together we'll be able to take all of you into heaven. That was my joke, so thank you very much. That being said, let's move on. Yes, there's a QR code. Yes, you want me to do your presentation, maybe?
Yeah, I forgot about this one. We just launched this new operation, which is the next 100 startups that will shape the future. The idea is to support startups that will shape the future of Europe. And instead of giving credits, it's actually supporting startups that are mostly post-Series A, that are having a hardest time raising money at that stage, and that are into a business bridge and lowering the cloud expenditure by giving them a reduction on their invoice and decreasing slowly over time. Sorry, thank you.
Brilliant. Merci beaucoup. Merci, Pascal. And moving on to our roadshow. I see the tigers here in the cage. They cannot wait. So I think it's time to move on, because we are super happy to host here 6 of our startups. Actually, 3 from Poland and 3 from Ukraine. So Carolina was mentioning our engagement in the region, and I think it's a great symbol of it. And these tigers will be maybe eaten by another animal. I don't know how to call them, but these are our judges. And I'm super excited to introduce this amazing panel to you. Maybe I'll start from the right. I'll start from Paulina Krull. Paulina, thank you for being with us. I think we can upload her already. Paulina is head of project at Startup Poland. Startup Poland is an amazing think tank that produces a lot of research in the startup ecosystem, connects also founders with public actors, investors. So Paulina, thank you for being with us. And in the center here, but on my right, we have Kasia Lechka. Kasia, yes, we can upload you already. Amazing. Kasia is a fan of green tech. She works in Paris with many startups from this field, but also very important, she's the CEO of Plugin Foundation. Plugin Foundation is a platform that helps founders from Poland to meet investors, foreign investors, mostly from the UK, but that's not it. So Kasia is definitely an important player here. And last but not least, this is not an avatar, this is not a hologram, he's real, he's made of meat and bones. We have Viktor Konovalov with us. Viktor Konovalov. Viktor, you're a serial investor, you are very interested in deep tech, fintech, but you are also an expert in strategic branding. So Viktor, thank you for being with us today. That's our amazing judges. I would like to applaud all of them now. Maybe we can do it. Yes. Thank you so much. And the rules of the game. The startups will pitch for 5 minutes, and then we will have a Q&A that will be 5 to 7. We'll see, depending on my mood, on my flexibility. But basically what I would like to ask is 1 question per jury member, and then I will adjust. So as you may understand, and I like to say that a lot, I'm your MC today, your master of ceremony. But unfortunately, I'm sorry dear startups, but I'm also the MT, the master of time. So maybe I'll have to cut you at some point. Anyways, without no further ado, it's time to start with Hear Me. Kasia Gryzło, the CEO of Gryzło, is taking the floor. Kasia, enjoy.
I will. Can I just check whether how this remote is working, because otherwise I will get panic attack. Okay, it's working. That's awesome. Okay, so we'll start. Thank you for the warm introduction. I'm Kasia Gryzło. I'm the CEO of Hear Me, and today I'm going to tell you the story of Hear Me. But I'm going to start with this one sentence that we very often heard, when we started pitching Hear Me in the beginning of 2020, of course, a lot of business advisors, of course, except Demium, because they were smart enough to invest in us, we're saying that there is not a single company that will pay for anonymous mental health support, not in the world. And we're like, but wait a minute. We knew that, okay, we're trying to get the next, okay. Okay, so WHO was saying that every fourth employee needs mental health support at that moment. We also stumbled upon a research paper that showed that Polish employees were the most stressed in the whole European Union. So we're like, okay, so why these people are not getting help? Well, because my slides are, jumping. Shame and stigma was blocking people for getting help. So we were digging, even deeper. So what do we have to give to people so they will use mental health support? And we found out two things have to be met: security and anonymity. And based on these two pillars, we created Hear Me, app for mental health support for employees. That's first and foremost anonymous. Employees don't even need to use their real name to create an account. It's secure. We use end-to-end encryption, so all the data is held by us. And it's flexible. Employees can book a session with a therapist, psychologist, psychodietitian, or business coach whenever and wherever they want. So to create an account, you just need your private email address and an alias. Then you fill out the survey. When you tick the problems you want to discuss with a specialist, and then you are hugged by a specialist, and from the very second you have an access to their calendar. And then you can choose the most comfortable time and also mean of communication, which is video, audio, or chat session. And coming back to the first sentence, not a single company. Now we are supporting 80 companies with mental health support and their employees. We started with tech companies, but now we have quite a big and diverse portfolio that contains companies not only from Poland, but from the Netherlands, UK, and the US since this month. And our business model is that we sell packages of hours. Let's say company buys 50 hours a month that renew each month, or a pay-as-you-go model, which is more flexible. We charge companies by the end of that month. We invoice them for the actual numbers of hours that were used by their employees, and we get a margin of 45%. Okay, and the remote, we're praying that it's working. Okay, so as I said, 80 companies, the quarter-to-quarter growth of our revenue is 55%. We do 1,300 online consultations a month, and 97% of users would recommend Hear Me to a friend. And yeah, and there are a lot of this market exploded during the pandemic, right? So what differentiates from the competitors? And when Hear Me enters a company, on the average 20% of employees would book at least one session. But with our competitors in Poland and in a region in Europe, it's usually between 2 and 7%. So thanks to it, we have more. Oh, I'm going to show you in a second. What are we gonna get more? I know it's like a tension, and it's okay. So what that means, because more employees are using our support, we have more insights into the organizational well-being. So we can provide companies with data they would never ever get in any other way. So we support HR departments on their well-being strategies and offer holistic approach. And the most important, of course, is always the team. Pavel, our CTO, is a serial startupper. Hear Me is his fourth startup, and his last startup was generating $500,000 MRR. Michał is an intensively experienced product owner and project manager for IT projects, and he's our CRO. And I'm Kasia. My background is marketing. I started in global agencies, and then I was a marketing manager, and I'm the CEO, and I take care of money, strategy, and most importantly, people. And today, we have around 100 employees, and 70 of them are our therapists, psychologists, business coaches, psychodietitians from around the world. And now we are raising 2.5 million euros. We already raised or committed 1.5 million euros. So now we are raised. Now there's this 1 million euro to be raised to scale up our current operations and go globally, even more intensively. So the last sentence that I wanted to use. So a lot of, again, business advisors were telling us, when an employer pays for mental health support, employees will never use it. But according to our data, 48% of people who use Hear Me have their first contact and the first session with a psychologist in our app. So not only people who never spoke with a psychologist are using Hear Me, we bring value and we change the world. So thank you so much. That's the last slide that doesn't want to be shown. Okay, yeah, we got it. Sorry for the technical troubles, but yeah, it's always some surprises. So thank you for your time. Ready for the questions.
Ta 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 ta.
Sing a song.
Okay, so now I'm starting. Okay.
This mic doesn't work.
Usually, serve this role, so.
Yes. Maybe we.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We can share the mic for this one. Maybe Ksenia, who is in the room, can help you with the microphone. Or Karo? Yes.
Okay. It's fine. Like my voice is really loud.
I just take the mic, but
Maybe fast. I'll be the passer. Who wants to start? Wow.
So thank you for the amazing pitch and very engaging. I would like to ask the question about the insights that you share with the companies. Do you have any data about if the insights are implemented or shared and used by the companies? So
Yes.
what's the real impact of the data that you collect
So
on the meta level?
after a quarter, we shared this the draft of the report that I shown, and there are already companies who implemented like coaching for managers, workshops, disc analysis, and we have a lot of case studies that because we found out there are some issues within the companies, there were actual actions and changes in organizations. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you said that you used two different names, one for
Yeah.
Poland and the other one for the rest of the world. Why do you do this?
Because Hear Me is such an amazing name. A lot of companies are using it already. So we cried, we lost all of our hope, and then we, faced this decision to come up with a different name. But that's the only reason, because there's so many Hear Me companies, globally. And when you start a startup, you have like 30 minutes to come up with a name, right? So like, thinking about global expansion in 2020, was like, okay, another step.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel much better just because of your energy. So thanks for session. I hope I'm not in position to pay.
Yeah, I'll send the receipt later, contact Adam, but okay, yeah.
As Demium GP shareholder, probably
Yeah.
privilege, but thanks for the energy. It's inspiring. What I would like to ask or just to suggest, I've been looking in your pitch for words like AI, big data, SaaS, because normally, obviously, you have huge potential to grow, to scale your business, not just by like service provider, but like tech company and product. So do you have any secret plans how you gonna grow your IT innovative?
Yeah, that's why we're raising the round right now, right? For that, so the lion's share of the money is going to be invested in a product, and the thing that I can share today is that we're gonna go into the direction of supporting HR professionals and going more into HR tech at this moment, and automating the data that we have that we can provide HR departments with that. So that's kind of the direction that we are heading to after a lot of strategy meetings and conversations. So, yeah.
Cool. Looking forward.
Okay.
Time for another round.
Another round. So I have a question about the competition, because as you said, like pandemic was a great
Yeah.
period because there was a great need and actually it validated the idea, but it also means that many similar concepts raised
Yeah.
that were after you, but it means there's more competition. So what actually differentiates you? We know that people use your platform more, but why? Why?
Yeah, what's the secret sauce?
Yeah.
So I think like the most I don't know, maybe obvious answer to that is the user experience. And was like, oh Jesus, right? But like even anonymity has different layers, because a lot of solutions, and I know there are people from like competitive companies sitting here, so like I'm saying hello to them, but like so competitors, for example, require a lot of data, including your date of birth, and PESEL, which is like a Polish ID number, right? Then an ID number, like Polish, whatever, right? So like a lot of data, and we like from the very beginning focused on limiting the data that you need. So the access is easier, and we do a lot of onboarding actions with it to properly show like why and how you can use Hear.me. So I would like on your like call it just user experience that we've been working on perfecting for the last 2 years.
Last one.
Okay, so I would take the last one. You're so positive, but there are also risks, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask about risks.
Awesome.
What do you see as the principle of the risk with your business?
Okay.
In our business,
I was asked that many times, and and it's a very good question, and I always answer that the thing that I fear the most is a strong team behind the startup, and because we've seen companies with investment from the biggest HR company in Poland, and they didn't succeed. We see people opening creating similar startups who left the biggest Polish unicorn, right? And so we're like, okay, we're not gonna do it, but they didn't, overcome us. And there's another, the biggest competitor on the market is Mindgram, and in terms of the number of clients, we're kind of similar. And if their team is as amazing as if they're strong, extremely strong team, and they work together well and so on, we will be very scared, but we're working it. But as you said, the barrier is not that high to enter the market. But I would always say that if I see dedicated people who could work well in that area, then I'm always very scared. But other things, we see investments from the from the industry, and we've seen people who've done a lot of startups before. Now a celebrity is running a similar startup, and they have similar results as we have. So. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, amazing Kasia. When I listen to you, I don't need any medtech solution. You're honey for my ears.
I should change my narrative then.
Thank you, Kasia. You're the first one, and it's never easy to take the stage and start the show. You did it amazingly. After Hear Me, we have to jump in. Yeah, the slides are very instructive.
Yeah,
So
they were for the questions.
yes,
So
you are self-explanatory. Q&A time is behind us, so we can move to the next one. The next one will take us to the future, but the future is already the present. City Robotics. Janusz, welcome on stage.
Hello. Yeah, let's just wait for one of our team members to the stage. It's not shooting, so we took off the weapons for today, don't worry. They just turn around to the people now. All right. Cool. So yeah, let's start. Imagine that you are going to the doctor, to the hospital for a fairly simple procedure. Everything goes fine, you are in the post-op room, and you're catching an infection, the result of which you die in the next 5 days. So this is why we decided to start City Robotics. This is the problem that we wanted to tackle, and we did. This is something that very commonly happens in the world. 75,000 people a year die due to hospital-acquired infections. This creates $28 billion of excess costs, USA only again. And this is all due to only inefficient solutions to disinfect large spaces, and the solutions that we have already are just economically not viable for the medical units. We wanted to tackle it, and we did. We came up with RoboUV Pro, which is an autonomous disinfection robot. It's 90% more effective than traditional methods. It's repetitive, reliable, and it's one of the most affordable products in the market. It took us 20 months to be here where we are. You see that was a really long journey, but we managed to manufacture, design, and develop a product which is fully certified, CEMC microbiological testing for the hospitals. We went to numerous trade shows. We started selling this month actually. We have one distribution contract already signed for in the making. Asia, Middle East, Europe, we still were thinking how we can develop, how we can implement what we learned during this 20 months to the larger scale. And the question is we can, and the answer is we can, and the answer is RPA, robotics process automation. We learned a couple of things during this 20 months. First of all, the current RPA is focusing mostly on the digital bots. 11 out of 12 RPA projects don't even go through the POC. We also learned during numerous visitations and demos that we did in hospitals and with the clients that most of the repetitive tasks are actually happening in the real world. So sometimes these repetitive tasks are crucial for the company operations. And that's why we decided to come up with the reality RPA, so robot process automation, which is based on real robots. And this is based on 4 main factors: navigation, discovery, and cognitive macro. Our robots are able to navigate in crowded spaces. They are able to identify and report repetitive tasks, and we are putting a cognitive macro layer on top of it, which are basically AI features that are deployed by front-end and back-end bots. When we do it, we'll be one of the kind robotic company in the industry right now. How do we do it? We are just going on the road that we took 20 months ago. So first of all, we are selling the hardware as it is. We are identifying national distributors, and we are looking for ways to maximizing their value. The next steps are we are going to adjust the current model to the robot as a service. So basically, we are going to work with our partners in cleaning and facility management industry. We'll be able to use a robot as a service. So basically going to the clients and conducting disinfection service. Mid next year, we'll have the cloud platform that will manage our fleet of robots, and also the clients will be able to choose features from the platform to customize the robots with. End of next year, we want to have 50 robots operational. This will create 1.2 million euro hardware revenue and 84K of annual recurring revenue. Mid-2024, we'll have a fully functional RPA platform. Our team. So Ivan Mazurek in the middle, CTO, he is a mastermind behind coding and the whole things that's happening inside there. He speaks 4 languages, but I guess if you add all the coding languages, it will be close to 10. Mike, who is our head of development, he has experience with PLs up to 100 mil. He managed up to 1,200 people, and he's ex-Interpol and ex-VP in Konica Minolta. And myself, Janusz, CEO, I have 13 years experience in operations and productions, and I guess my biggest professional thing that I did was to set up the whole QA and QC and sourcing process for House LLC in years 2015, 2018. Thank you.
Okay. The beginning was quite scary.
To be honest, yeah. I started
Because I was breaking down, right?
Yeah.
And I forgot about my slide.
What could be the main metric of success in your case? So how you will measure efficiency of usage of your solutions? Yeah. Maybe number of less dead people. Okay, I could imagine. But talking about the growth opportunity, have you talk with like insurance company? Could you provide them like data, solid data of your success rate? You know, what are your plans and how you can address that?
I mean, there are so let's split it to two answers. The answer, like ad hoc answer, how to measure the actual readiness and if the product works is first of all we have this dosimeter. So dosimeter is a special card with chemical inside, and you can put it. It's like a sticker. You can put it on the wall, and the sticker has a chemical compound which changes the color based on the amount of radiation that it gets from it, right? So this is like an ad hoc, let's say, answer to that, right? Of course, the more global answer is the reduction in the HIIs in the given hospital wing, and this has been already done. I mean, this kind of research has already done with some of our competitors, and it actually works. So this is something that this is the technique that actually works. And as for the potential growth, again, like we can see it in a different stages. So the first stage that we are already developing is the RAAS, so Robot as a Service. So we are already talking with partners, clinic and facility management companies, and they are very interested to be using this robot as a tool or additional benefit for their clients, right?
Okay, so can you say how long does it take to disinfect the room, and what is the cost for a hospital?
So of course it depends how big is the room, but the standard surgical room is about 50-60 meters square. So it takes 10 minutes to disinfect it. Okay. If you want to do it with the traditional way, so manual, it will be around probably 45-60 minutes. If you want to do it with the fogging way, which is very popular in Poland, it's about 2 hours.
And the cost?
And the cost?
The cost, the direct cost is 25,000 euros for the hospital.
Okay, so you mentioned it a few times, but very globally, how does it work? What does it do to disinfect?
Yeah, I should probably start from that, right?
It would be
easier for us. But yeah.
It is a disinfection robot. It disinfects through UVC light. So basically, these are
The
the
floor
UVC lamps.
or everywhere?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. The UVC lamps and the UVC light it deactivates the pathogens.
Okay, and what about
The dead angles or some, I don't know, under the bed. What do you do?
Of course, I mean there are shadows, so this is the huge advantage of the autonomous robot because it can move around, right? So instead of having UVC lamps on the ceiling, like it is often happening with the surgical rooms, this one can move around, so you can actually reach to much more spaces and much more places than with the lamps in the ceiling. But of course, we are focusing on the most vulnerable places, right? So we know, and sorry, this is also proved by research that when the hospital-acquired infections are actually happening, is because people are touching the same places or the same items, for example, right? So these items are almost always visible and touchable. It's called high touchable places.
Thank you, City Robotics, and thank you. How was the name of this model?
Oh, it's very professional name, RoboUV Pro.
Thank you, pal. It was good fun today. So yeah, I'm sorry, security. Can you
escort the robot
please
out?
You can wash me, huh? No? Bye-bye. It was good to see you. It's been a while. Thank you so much. And as RoboUV Pro is leaving us, it's Q&A time behind us, and it is time for Ricochet. Yaroslav, I see you here. Welcome on stage. the CEO of Microsoft. Yes.
Okay, who of you goes to Zakupy every week? And what happens sometimes? That you try to find your favorite product, you go on the shelves and you find nothing. Actually, somebody else already bought it. So you might be not very happy. And you might not come back to the supermarket again, right? We know some name of supermarkets here that are not very strong at it, right? And this is a loss for supermarket. This is loss of credibility, this is loss of money. And this is $1 trillion loss globally because empty shelves don't sell. Solution is small camera installed against every shelf that controls what is happening there every minute. And you see those red rectangles. This is how machines see the shelf. This is machine vision we use in our technology. This is computer vision. It may recognize what type of products, how many products are on the shelf. And this is great time for such technology because of a few factors. One of the factors is that we are not comfortable with waiting. We are not comfortable with empty shelves, and we do not like to. We don't like this bad service in the world of e-commerce, of Allegros. So we have few products for retail to help them to mitigate this problem. One is quick control because they don't like use as well. We don't like empty shelves. For this we have auto-shelf control. And we also offer built in the shelf the camera that counts products and orders products. So we save on human resources. That is very important for retail in time of inflation, in time of lower margins. Critically, to have less people to reach good service. One of the examples of our services is what we did for Coca-Cola competitor. And this is the camera installed in the shelf that counts, and they save on merchandising, but also they sell more because this product comes just in time when it's needed on the shelf. So business model is very simple. We charge $20 per camera per month. Actually, it depends on the negotiations, type of service. But it's just principle, right? So we operate in second biggest global market after real estate. Retail, it's $30 billion. And our niche grows 40% a year. Have you seen any such a business that grows 40% a year? How do we sell? We do direct sales, we work with intermediates, companies who already serve retail. They come to us, hey, Yaroslav, do you have this opportunity to serve this company? Yes, I have. Let's come together and sell it to them. And we also work with exhibitions like Euro shops, like Computer Exchange Show, and others. There are other companies that operate in this area, like drugs retail. But what is the difference is automation level. Some companies, they do just smartphone-based control. Others, we also do it, they have camera installed against the shelves. And other companies, like we and single companies more, they do auto-ordering right on the shelf. This is where we free people from routine completely. So let's take a look what others say about this. Competitors and our customers. They found no competitors in this field of auto-ordering. And this is very big company, this $1 billion company in sales. So what we have as advantage is that we have auto-ordering, we have the small camera, we managed to make it work. We also need a little data to train the machine to recognize it 95 plus accuracy level. For today, we have customers. Aurora, that is 800 shops chain from Ukraine. We have customers that are top monopolies in terms of beverage in Poland and in Ukraine. We also work with biggest retail chains in the world. And we have proof of concepts. And we have nearly 300,000 investments from companies around the globe, including Alchemist, that is Y Combinator for B2B. And also Demium, obviously. So, team consists of IT specialists. I managed Nokia unit in Ukraine for 7 years. And my colleague, Mikita, is building his PhD in field of computer vision. Also, we have developers and marketing manager, Valentina. We work with biggest company managers like Amazon, Deliveroo. We work with coaches from Alchemist who closed deals more than $100 million exits. They help us to steer in proper direction. Every company wants to grow. We want to bring more revenue with more features. We're going to build with new money, with help of investors and retailers. So let's help them to earn more with Data Shelf. Thank you.
So how do you store? Do you store all of it? How do you manage data? So
What we do, we just exclude people from the picture, kill those pictures, because we make pictures every minute. And we store data on the cloud, like Amazon's or Azure's of this world. So it's kind of, we have free credits for a few $100,000 actually. And it's a big database, so we have, we enjoy this support from biggest companies of the world, because they hope they will be unicorn and they earn money on us.
so how long do you store data? Do
For
you,
3 years already. But we add new data, new. With new customers, we add more data, and our machine become more clever. To management team, and I sell them, and I show the business case, and it usually comes, our leads comes from the intermediates, sometimes from direct sales, like I found somebody in LinkedIn, like owner, or maybe at exhibition, I talk to owner or general management, and it's like not big costs. I couldn't have estimation 13,000 per client, but client might take half a year to convince client.
Good. Definitely privacy is the main concern. So it's not like something we can avoid. But you already answered at some point this question. So, but according to your like negotiations or just deals with potential or real clients, what you can name as the main bottlenecks, what you just, trying to fight with them?
Bottleneck is management resistance, because owners, they want this technology, but middle management, they kind of don't want to take this risk. So biggest concern is not to spoil the picture, not to take risk personally for all the mid management and general management. So we do like testing, very testing, show how it works, show there is no risk. They have some existing system in parallel to other system, and then we smoothly replace with other system. So this is how we avoid this risk, we mitigate this risk.
Okay. Yep, if I can use a few seconds more. It's not a question, it's just a suggestion, because having so much, qualitative data in your hands, your market is not only your primary market, your market is MarTech, marketing technology, because you can, deliver much more than you can imagine even, because for part of my life connected to that world. So I would suggest you to think about a product that could be valuable for all marketers over the world, because you can sell this data cheap, but with a lot of, sales numbers every day.
Some interesting things like the hours, there must be the hours, when people come and when there are not people, and how people approach the shelf. And so some interesting insights. I open for some companies.
Good. So you can reach me. I will connect you with the biggest things.
You.
One last comment or not?
so I come back. So
We'll keep it here.
sorry, I'll get back to you later. I come back on the privacy topic because you have a solution for queuing. You cannot delete people from this one. So what do you do? How does it work?
This solution is implemented in Ukraine. They have a bit more flexible rules.
Oh, okay. But how does it work, and how will you comply to the privacy rules? Yeah.
First of all, nobody knows they are watched, because this is similar. You see CCTV camera here and there. You have no questions, right? Because there is a sign at the entrance that you might be filmed. So actually, we don't have any personal information in our system. We just count people. 1, 5, 10, and if there are more than 5, maybe manager might be fined. This is automatically. This is blind system that fines manager for the queues. It's an excellence in the system that don't need any judgment from people.
Thank you, Yaroslav. Thank you so much. It's important to check empty shelves, and thank God you don't have this solution in my fridge, because my fridge is always empty, so it would ring a lot. Anyways, that being said, sorry for the guys that have some questions, but we keep it here to our judges, but there will be, of course, networking opportunities, so you will feel okay maybe to catch a founder later on. Q&A time is behind us, so what is in front is Beholder, because the earth has a lot to offer. Andriy, welcome on stage. Thank you so much for coming to Warsaw, Andriy, and enjoy, have fun.
Okay, thank you. I have a point here, first, right? Okay. Yeah, hello. My name is Andriy, and came to Warsaw to tell you about the opportunity arising from the energy transition. So the energy transition is actually a process when we change the technology of combusting the fuel to consuming renewables. And that's bringing us to the line where we have to find the new principles of generating, converting, and transmitting and storing energy. And those require something we call critical materials, and those made from something we know as critical minerals. So they're like the boom coming for the electric cars, mobility, and other technologies where like 3 billion electric cars will be present by 2050 on the roads. And to produce all of that, we will need to produce trillions of batteries and billions of motors. So imagine the amount of critical material we're gonna need. Yeah, finally, here it is. Sorry. So the way we get it is actually an exploration process where we look for the minerals in the earth and we explore the mines. And the exploration success rate is actually a failure. Less than 2% of prospect, which geologically validated, become an actual mine and can give these resources to the market. Now, what happened for the past 30 years, the success in exploration rate becomes 20 times less. And now it takes 20 times more effort to get 60% less resources than it was 30 years ago, as all the upper layers of the earth is explored well, and we cannot find these critical resources anymore in places where we looked before. So the common gap for the critical minerals, where you can see the low line is, for some reason, there is no, yeah, they're on top. So the low line indicates what can be produced with the present mines we have, which potentially can be depleted by 2030 with growing demand. And the green line shows the opportunity, which gives us the recycling cycle, where we can find out how finally we can recycle the lithium-ion batteries. And the upper line shows the actual demand which is going to come with this 3 billion electric cars coming, right? And that is a 12 trillion gap. Oh, sorry, yeah, right, there is 12 trillion gap there. And there is no way how we can explore for this amount of resources with the present geological methods we have now in place. So there are new methods to be found, as seismic surveys, gravimetry, magnetometry, standard geophysics fail when the question comes to the large-scale projects, when you have to bring it to the continent scale. So unless we have something like Beholder, and artificial intelligence for sustainable critical resources exploration. Come on. So Beholder combines 35 complex data inputs to generate a prediction with state-of-the-art artificial intelligence without deforestation needed at any place on Earth, unlimitedly scalable at any time, and any site is accessible. So the entire system, with a combination of data inputs and geophysics, multispectral imagery, like tons of data, gives 96% prediction accuracy rate. That was not ever achieved by the standard geological methods, and if you go to the history, the success rate on the geological exploration never exceeded 25%. And we proved this. Come on. Actually, let's say this one kind of workable, just quick. Right, so we started the company. It works with you.
No, it's only with my hand.
Any kind of touch up inside? Okay. Let's go to it works. So we started the project about literally less than 2 years ago, and it came from one of my friends from the oil and gas industry who came to me and said, like, "Come on, guys, you're really professional in what you do with the satellites and artificial intelligence. Could you help us with looking for the star sands in Utah?" So we did an attempt and we succeeded. And since that, we did several exploration projects from oil and gas, and then we shifted to non-conventional. Before that, we've been invested by Demium, and we started our first project for coal bed methane in Turkey, where we lead to the discovery to one of the biggest ever CBM deposits in Europe. And then the war started, and our progress was slowed down as we had to flee, and I had to relocate the team outside the country. And then we had our first critical mineral projects in Chile with the Laminara Group in La Sol and Tingamar area, which is close to the biggest copper mine in the world, operated by the Ila Group. And so one of our customers, Petrotech and Crossroads, we're basically an energy resources company and focused on CBM and oil and gas, and Filo Mining, Grupo Honosan and Delta, which are in conventional like critical resources, coal bed methane, and Delta is also coal bed methane. So the map where we was doing our POCs and pilots, and you can see it's quite a lot of the places, and it's not due to our global ambition, but more likely for us to understand the geology in each region, the solid, different, and test and validate the neural network, how it is in every point on Earth. So we can claim that we can operate anywhere, regardless of the geographical position. So the competitive landscape in this market is very interesting, as the companies, like, it just appears, it's just growing, and you see that recently how the lithium prices go up and the cobalt prices go up. So here we are, like 4 companies which are standing out. At the moment, market is about 80 billion, and cobalt metals is actually 100 billion unicorn. The valuation, not the market size, right? It's a bit bigger. But that company was actually external operator. They utilize artificial intelligence and huge VLF coil attached to the helicopter to detect minerals, and they actually take the mine into operations. They acquire the land, they do all the processing. The Luna Sonde is like an MRI for us, and an outstanding company with a nice solution on the satellite constellation, which can see deep through the soil. They operate their own satellites. Pixel is, I think, a state-of-the-art hyperspectral imagery, also operating this satellite constellation. And the Minora Group is, I think, one of the best analytical company present on the market, but still with the manual analytics, 20,000 employees or something. That's the thing which makes standing out as a team. So here, not all of us, we have 9 constant employees working full-time, and 5 more experts which joined the company partly for helping us with infrastructure and architecture. And I think we are on the startup which has 2 advisory boards, one for science and one for the business, both with globally known experts for science and business from the industry. So these guys are mostly from energy, remote sensing, oil and gas and resources exploration. And this is with the business Warwick Hall from Halliburton, Robert Fear from Filo Mining, Derek Boyles from Texas Exploration, and Tom Reed, he was an ex-CEO over left. So the growth idea. We had an idea for serving as a service company, just providing the prospects. That doesn't bring recurring revenue, but gives an opportunity for to be being cheaper and more mobile on the market to cover large areas, and then come up with the idea that we can drop down the pricing and take the share in a project, like taking the part of the risks, which creates additional trust from the customer that we are taking the risk, but gives them an additional opportunity. If the project will be sold, we'll get the benefit of this. The same like a venture capital, or in another case, if the operator keeps it producing, we'll get the part of the revenues.
Thank you, Andrei.
So-
I have to cut you. I give you some extra, but now we need so
So the reason why I'm here, we're looking for around a 500K, and yeah, I have to tell you. And the idea is to start the other one in May 2023 for 5 million high valuation. Yeah, dollars.
So thank you, Andrei.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. So whoever will go first.
Thank you for your presentation. And my question is, do you have competitors, like direct competitors?
Direct competitors, no. They're like similar companies, but they operate in a different business model.
Okay, and how easy will it be to replicate the technology you use?
Let's say, okay, the technology complexity level is very high. There's still a potential it can be replicated, or the problem can be resolved in another way, we don't know. But I believe that it will take a year or two.
Year to two?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. The first question is like, why just 500K? It's just a bit weird talking about such a huge, cake, potential amount of money on table.
This kind of bridge round for us. So we didn't reach the KPIs. We set it up because of the emergency situation in the country when we had to flee, and this will bring us up basically to the next round of 5 million. So that's the goal.
Okay. What kind of data you're using, like satellite images?
Okay, timescale analysis goes, there's MSI. MSI goes for entire spectral bands represented by Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2, and Landsat satellites, also Moody's and Terra. Then we go for the other C-band, A-band. It's okay if I'm just in details.
Yeah, it's okay. I will pretend that I understand everything.
Also, thank you so much.
Yeah,
So for geophysics, we go for magnetic gravity, like free fall acceleration and vertical declination. And for the magnetometry, we go for the nanotesla measurement and the magnetic field and magnetic anomalies and dynamics. Also, we go for the soil compound, then conductivity of the soil. We go like 35 data layers.
Okay, and so generally my question, how much you shall spend on data, how expensive it is?
The we use is open data,
Okay.
Which is available, like, Sentinel's constellation is like open data, you can get it almost instantly. And we have a scientific partnership with the National Air and Space Agency in the United States. We get data almost instantly.
Okay, good. So no exclusivity. So everybody could get access to the same data, yeah? So it's a matter of technology.
Two sides of this. On one side, there is no exclusivity on data we have. We do not operate our own satellite constellation, but then the data can be verified. So this is our source, and it's publicly available, and we're not like generating something from our.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can you steal my question? What is it? No, he already answered my question, so
Okay,
it's
thank
perfect.
you, Andrei. That's clear. Thank you, Andrei. Thank you so much. Indeed, at some point he started to speak a new language, right? Like, but no, I'm kidding. Good job, Andrei. Impressive beholder. Thank you so much. Thank you, judges. Oh.
Oh no. What happened?
Come closer. I lost the momentum, huh? Q&A time is behind us.
Need to pray a bit.
Okay, let's see. I mean, let's wait, because before maybe it was better. I don't think so.
Yeah, we can just change slides.
I think it's a bit annoying, huh? Let me see if I can. Yeah, it works if it's close. Can do this. If I'm a speaker.
You're
Yeah,
spoiling the
okay.
slides. Come on.
Yeah, maybe we can do that. That's a good idea. Dennis, you want to help me? All right. That's unforeseen complications. Maybe we can do like this. Can turn it. So we don't do any marketing for Apple. All right. And this way. Dmitro, you will be an innovator today because you will be the first one to start with the manual keyboard. Dmitro! Yes! My man right here, the CEO of Drugcard. Dmitro, thank you so much for being with us in Warsaw. Enjoy, and the clicker I keep it in my pocket. So good luck with the microphone. Hopefully this one you manage.
Thanks a lot. So as I understand, everybody is a little bit tired today, and everyone wants a beer and prosecco after the meeting here. But let's start from drugs. Drug part. Okay. Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry. Hi everyone. My name is Mitro, and I'm with Drug Cars, and we help pharma companies to manage the drug safety activities better in significantly better way with medical leadership monitoring and reducing the cost of this activity by 50%. So, what is the pharma industry? And if you're not familiar with the pharma industry yet, it's a good time to start exploring because as in spite of pharma industry is heavily regulated and so conservative, the big money rolls around here. And pharma companies are very preoccupied to have very high quality and rigid processes because they have to prove the regulators that they're compliant. And despite this fact, as all of us using Netflix, Uber, Google Chrome, their processes are like Internet Explorer in the late 90s. Very slow processes, pixel graphics like Minecraft, and under automation. Reading medical journals like about medicines, adverse reactions, treatments, and so on. That's really boring. But not just read, but also write down all the mentions of medicines that you came across. And it will take you like 2-3 working days every week. It's a really hard labor. And the volume of pages can be like thousands and thousands of pages. Would you feel depressed and burned out after such hard labor? I definitely would. But this is like a normal and traditional approach in the pharmaceutical industry. So to give like more clarification about this, I will give you a big example from the big pharma world. Everyone knows Pfizer, but I bet you don't know the drug Cabasor. So a man in his 60s started taking this medicine, and suddenly he felt a strong desire to gamble, and he craved like young ladies. He went Breaking Bad and lost thousands of euros. And during the lawsuit, the medical experts confirmed that that was a side effect of the drug Cabasor. And Pfizer had to pay this patient €500,000, and the reputational and indirect cost was much higher. And that's it we have to prevent. So we developed a solution that automatically screens medical literature 60 times faster than human can and reduce risk of errors. And if Drugcard finds a new mention about medicine, you will receive a notification on your email. And also we develop our own proprietary tech, and we can recognize text from even poorly scanned PDFs. Isn't that cool? So the typical and average price for the mid-sized company would be around €2,000 per month. And with our early customers, we can see that we can cut their cost for this activity by 50%. And this is a great market to be in because there are around 8,000 companies that are interested in this solution, and we don't need any specific certification to sell our solution. And in spite of the fact the pharmaceutical industry is heavily regulated, is very conservative, the drug safety software market reached $9 billion. And After this, pharma companies still use manual labor. On back, the regulatory requirements are getting higher, the cost of people are rising, and new aggressive entrants enter the market and shake the status quo. So this is the right time to disrupt the industry and also capture the market. So our main funnels, our main channel of sales is LinkedIn campaigns, direct outreach, and pharma conferences, because then we can socialize with right buying influencers and getting in touch with the persons who are decision makers. So at this moment we have our MRR almost 7k euros, and we have 9 customers that are paying for us, and annual revenue about 80k euros. So our main goal, like to get 100 customers and 1.5 million euros till 2024, and that will get us really globally and take to the A round, start selling in the US. So why don't people choose us from the competition? That's really simple. We offer more languages, best price, and more custom journals than anybody else in the market. But it's only a penetration point. So the next year we're adding a whole bunch of functionality about regulatory intelligence and adverse reactions. So that make us available to grow aggressively from 20 to 30% year over year, next 10 years. And what about the team? So for the last decade, I have been working with pharma regulatory stuff. My CTO now has a huge experience in software development, and Artem has a deep expertise in drug safety activities. And we have already raised some money from Demium and Pharma. It's the biggest pharmaceutical company in Ukraine and also one of the biggest pharmaceutical company in Eastern Europe. And now we are seeking for a bridge round before seed for 300,000 euros. So big pharma, big money. Let's have a chat.
Thank you, Dmitro. Dear judges, the mic is yours.
Yep. Thank you. You have like clients currently. Who are they? Yeah. Could you please describe them? So just to understand better profile of your current and future clients.
Yes, there's typically like 2 types of clients. The first type of clients is pharmaceutical manufacturers who produce medicines like and sell in the market, and the second type is service providers who provide such services but manually for pharma companies. And at this moment, like the pharma and other pharma manufacturers are our clients, and in Spain, in Germany, there is a service provider like Macy's and Interlab Group and other companies. So manufacturers and service providers.
Okay, fine. And just side question. Because thinking about pharma, we are thinking about like conflict of interest. Yeah. What are bottlenecks? Who could be potentially not interested or trying to stop, such quick flow of data, or it's not relevant question in such a case.
I believe the service providers who are not able to switch to technology level, who uses this manual labor and have some interests with regulators who trying to stop these activities. But I visited a conference, big conference, drug safety last month in Amsterdam, and there was threats about AI and automation for 3 days, and everyone is talking about to switching to automation tools. So I don't believe that's a real risk.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, you said that the system works for 90%. So I wanted to ask, what about 10%? And do you have an insurance or
99%.
Oh, 99.
We have a business case when the customer said us, so you don't find that keyword in the journal. So okay, let's see. And the journal was very poorly scanned. There was no word really on that place, and we say, can you read this on your eyes? No. Is it a magic? No. So yeah, we guarantee 99% accuracy, but this 1%.
Okay, but still, do you get an insurance?
No, because
You don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to, and we have lower risks than human. So
okay.
Thank you. So my question is about who is the user? How does it look to integrate your software in everyday basis, like processes that you have in your company, in people have in the company, for example, pharma
just a moment. So it will look like a CRM for the pharma company. The people would go to the CRM when they receive a notification and just look for results when the new mentioning was found. So there will be like an article, the article name, then the highlighting of the keyword of the medicine, and they will assess this information about is it connected to drug safety or not. It's typically like no problem with implementing such a solution. Like our experience says that it enough like 2 weeks to implement a new country. So for example, if this customer is not working in, I don't know, like in Czech Republic, we can make this customer work for these services in Czech Republic for 2 weeks. While with other like our competitors, it take 6-7 months.
Okay, and my follow-up question. My follow-up question, very quickly, obviously, because we are running out of time here, is about the data, the micro data that you're collecting for your clients. Do you do something with them? Do you create like insights report for them?
Yeah,
Do they? How does it work?
Yeah, we generate reports for them, like and these reports can be used directly to send for the regulator because they are like requesting some reports. And we are working on machine learning to detect signals for drug safety, and we work on automatic translation for such like very exotic languages like European Nordic, Denmark languages, and so on. So we're working on that side.
Thank you very much. Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dragcard. Yes, we have some more information that our investors can access. Correct. Big pharma, big money. Q&A time is behind us, and let me welcome our latest invested company in Poland, Clever Claim. Denis and Ignacy, welcome on stage.
One, two, three.
It's this one, right? Yeah, let's try with it. Time and money. Both are measurable, but one is priceless. Be clever, don't lose your money, and don't waste your time. In everyday life, we feel like we deserve something. It could be love, but it could also be money, right? As passengers or consumers, you have a right to get a refund, starting from the delayed plane or train, and finishing with the refunded medication or even a tax return. The market analysis showed that because of the overall complexness and unawareness about the consumer rights, people are not fighting for what they're entitled to.
So, here arrives Clever Claim, a platform that combines both passenger and consumer rights, where you can fight for your compensation form, get your money back, and don't waste countless hours reading about regulations or even worse, contacting a lawyer. So, how does it work? The process starts when the client fills up the form, then we are fighting for his rights, and afterwards transfer the claimed amount. The first and most important is our website, which was designed to be as clear and easy to use as possible. We provided a trustworthy platform where people can read about their rights.
And most importantly, file for a compensation form under 2 minutes. As we established, time is crucial. Therefore, our philosophy was to limit time spent on the form to a minimum. Time is also very important to us. That's why we designed a tool that using AI automates the process of claim management. As soon as the tool gets the form, it is automatically checked, filled, and sent along with all of the appropriate documentation. And the last step of the process is when the clients receive compensation on their bank account.
So we want to be present in each of people's lives. That's why we distinguish 3 main industries that we want to cover. It's traveling, healthcare insurance, and banking. In creating our business model, we want it to be as transparent to the customer as possible. That's why we charge a flat 20% commission only on received compensation, and we want to provide the solution also in B2B model. We also started testing the purchase of the claim, where the consumer gets the money instantly.
The claim management market is huge, especially the healthcare sector. It accounts for 21 billion euros annually and is projected to increase 25% for the next 10 years. Nonetheless, the traveling sector is also huge. The total addressable market accounts for 40 billion euros annually, and assuming only 5% of the serviceable available market, we get our global target market, which is 500 million euros.
Our go-to-market strategy can be divided into two, educational one and acquiring customers. We plan to do so with social channels, content marketing, referrals, and direct targeting.
During beta testing of our claim management solution for trains, we successfully managed to get a refund for around 1,000 unique customers in Poland, despite having very limited budget for marketing, which was mainly based on Google search. We also managed to decrease our CAC by 50%, and our average revenue per user was 2.8 euro.
So our competition is mainly in Germany, where they provide just one service usually, and Clever Claim is advantageous, proposing attractive pricing, European scale, shortest and easiest form, and of course many services. So we are currently active on the market with our claim management for trains. We also just secured our pre-seed investment of 150,000 euros, and we plan this quarter to launch our plain claim management solution and start purchasing the claims. We also want to be present and cover the European Union at the end of the next year. But over the years, we haven't wasted any time either. Dennis gained experience in finance, economics, and management.
And Ignacio, on the other hand, gained experience in analytics, marketing, and managerial aspect as well. We have on our team Karol, who's the IT mastermind that stands behind the automation of the whole process that was analyzed from the legal point of view by our Columbia Law School alumni, Tadeusz.
So we know that there is a huge opportunity on the market, but it demands action right now. Therefore, we want to secure 2.5 million euros in order to scale up our team and also to be present on the whole European market and lead it as the innovators in this field.
So be clever and fight for consumer rights. Together we can claim the market. Thank you.
Thank you for a very nice presentation, very captivating. So I love the presentation and like the solution, but I'll ask you difficult questions. Sorry for that. So I have a question about, do you check the identity of people who submit their claims, or how do you verify if the claim is actually true?
Depends on the industry, right? Because we operate in many industries. For example, in case of trains, we do not have to do that. But if it comes to, for example, planes and further stages of the process, we sometimes need to verify the user, and we do it, for example, in case of Poland, by verifying the PESEL, so personal identification number.
So it requires creation of an account before I can do my claim in 1 minute?
Yeah, in some of the industries, depends. But not for trains.
But not for trains.
Yeah. It really depends on the complexity of the process and specific industry, right? Because we offer the service for the overall claim management. Depends on what kind of claim you specifically want here.
Okay, so I would like to know how you are better than a regular form on an intercity website.
Have you ever tried to pull one?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
I did it last week, so that's why I'm asking.
Our idea for the Clever Claim originated actually with the intercity. We were traveling from Krakow, because we're from Krakow, to Warsaw quite a bit, and our trains were late, and we figured, wait, we can get a claim for that, right? And we saw that majority of people don't know about that. That's the first thing. And the second step we did is we actually tried to look for that one. And then what we did is, obviously, we had to read the regulations. And in the regulations, they said that you need to put specifically that you require a money transfer instead of the bonus part, right? So these are the small aspects that people just don't, that they just miss, and they are discouraged with the whole process. So what is our value is that we propose very simple, fast process, and we find you instead of you have to look for something and spend hours on reading that and looking for this word.
Okay, thank you.
Things. I will not pretend I don't know you because I'm a huge progress with the pitch, so it's really impressive. I'm very glad. I remember you started from train, service under different name. Currently, could you measure like success rate? Because with trains, it's simple. It's simple by regulations. It's simple by procedures. It's simple by all aspects. But you are targeting quite difficult and competitive new fields. Yeah, what's going on with air, everything?
Is addition that was very simple for us because we automated the whole process. So that was just a small extension of our system, and we just didn't want to get rid of this client, right? If we provide service for everyone, then we want to include everyone. When it comes to different services, we during this time when we finish our rebranding process, we are onboarding the employer expert as well, and we are looking for industries that are manageable to automate. And yeah, we just closed the round right now, and we are doing some different beta tests of different industries to feel where we can do our best and where we can help the most.
Okay, so metrics we shall expect, yeah, quite soon.
Yeah.
Success rate, etc. Okay, good. Thanks. No tough questions, just like go ahead and expand your presence.
Yeah, that's why we're raising to we need to scale up fast. Any more questions?
Thank you, Claim. Thank you, clever gentlemen. Thank you so much. I see there is something going on out there. First of all, I would like to thank maybe our tigers in the cage that went out from the cage to take the main stage, and they did it really impressively. So congratulations to the startups that took the stage today. We have tigers, but we also have lions on the first row, which are amazing judges of today. Thank you for the insightful questions and comments. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Paulina, Kasia, and Victor. It was amazing to host you. And if I take a look at the agenda, because I added a new line, so I wanted to spice it a bit, It's a Google Drive, it's adaptive, you can change it now, just kidding. Anyways, before we move to the closing words from the Demium management that is visiting us from Spain to the far east, to Warsaw, I would like to give a small surprise to our portfolio startups. Ta-ta-ta-ta. And what I have is an amazing slide. So here are the gifts. It's Merry Christmas already. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of you. Bear with us, because we have more to show you. Maybe we have more surprises. So you should probably stay a slightly longer. And we have some nice gifts for our jury members as well. Thank you so much. We love our startups. Scaleway do love them as well. So we have an amazing award from Scaleway. Thank you, Pascal. Thank you, Asha. Scaleway is offering our startups 36,000 euros in cloud credits. So you will receive that in your mailboxes and more. So hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the cloud, but also the heaven. Thank you. I'm in good shape today. So without no further ado, I would like to invite Nina Alastray from Demium Capital. Nina, thank you for visiting us from Barcelona.
Hello, thank you. Just a few words. As you know, we plan to invest in 200 companies up to the end of next year. We have participated in 130 along all these countries. We have a hub and a team working there. You know that we invest 100K for 10% of the company, and then we sign a comparable note of 50K. So 150K that I want to help the teams to launch and hopefully reach the next seed round, where you may find us again doing follow-ups of up to 500K. So very happy you join us. Please, if you need any contact with any of the companies, you want to know a little more about the portfolio, or you just want to say hi, be confident. I'll be here drinking red wine. And thank you. I'll pass the micro to Javi or to Adam. Javi, our Director of Operations from Demium. Thank you.
Thanks, Nina. Quite lovely. All right, so what we've been hearing today was actually a celebration. So this couple of hours that we've been here sitting, listening to projects, it has been actually a thrilling celebration. And when we do and we take the entrepreneurship party, right, the party of entrepreneurship, there's three main protagonists in our story, okay? The first one are all the companies, agencies, organizations, which makes this event, for instance, happen, right? And I'm speaking about Venture Cafe, I'm speaking about Scaleway, speaking about all the companies that help out in the ecosystem, not only in Poland, but all around Europe and the world, okay? The second protagonist of our amazing celebration tonight is the investors. And I'm going to separate the investors in two big blocks, okay? So the first block is going to be the business angels. And the business angels are the ones that actually help you the most at the beginning. And it's the one who follows with you and who actually actively are in the projects, and many of you are here today. Secondly are the venture capital firms. And we need more venture capital firms. Because when I look at our competitors, and we're not competing against Germany, or we are not competing against the Czech Republic, we're competing against the Chinese and the US, to be honest. And if you're looking at other countries in the European Union or in Europe altogether, and we're thinking, hey, that's our competition, you're quite wrong about that. We need more venture capital, and we need more companies who actually put all their belief in our entrepreneurs. And then, of course, lastly, and most importantly, in our amazing entrepreneurship party are the entrepreneurs themselves, right? And here, again, today we have been hearing only a few of them, only 6 amazing projects. But the truth is, we need more entrepreneurs. We need more creators. And above all, when we go into a point where we have an economic downturn, that's our biggest opportunity. So if any of you are here and are thinking about giving it a go, this is the perfect moment to do so. We need more creators because there aren't any jobs for all of them. There needs to be some people actually creating them at the end of the day. And we need more people as engaged as the ones that we have been hearing today. And then in this sphere of this amazing party that we have been celebrating over the last hours, of course, there's also the companies that actually try to help you out in the process and guide you through. And we are more than happy to be that guiding person who is with you, that guiding company who is with you, that guiding mentor who is with you, who brings that dream that you have as a project from the beginning until, and here's the question mark, okay? So I also want to use this nice little 30 seconds that Adam is going to give me. We started Poland 2.5 years ago, and I actually moved to Poland last year. And literally in November last year, I was here in Poland in another completely hub. We had a couple of projects which we already invested in, but there weren't as many great teams in Poland as to put it forward. And since then, since we put Poland 2.0, Demium Poland 2.0 in action, after 1 year, we have such an event where there's literally more people sitting, less people sitting than people that are actually standing up in the front of the room. And that for me can only be happening thanks to amazing employees, amazing people who are actually also entrepreneurs and are living the dream as being entrepreneurs. And that's why I want this last applause to be for the Demium Polish CEE team who has been with us today. So thank you very much, guys, for creating this event. And as I know you have been waiting for this, for going out and drinks and networking, I'm going to give the mic to Adam so that he can finish this up. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Javi. Thank you. Indeed, Demium is always here to support talented people. So if someday you would like to start this amazing journey, reach out to us. Thank you again to, as well, I take the opportunity because I have the microphone right now, amazing Demium team, Carolina, Ksenia, Claudia, Hannah, Javi, Nina, and so on and so forth, entrepreneurs that also helped us during the event in the venue to welcome you, all of you. Well, congratulations to the portfolio startups. Thank you for being with us, and let's keep our hands also together in the future. It's only the beginning. Now is the time for enjoying ourselves. So I invite you to basically the restaurant, because we have the restaurant for us, and it will take place when you leave here. You go to the other side, and you will find us out there with some prosecco, red wine, and everything. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.